I understand that. But it actually takes 30, some of them 45 minutes out of me relating information to you, and it means nothing. I could have webinars every day, all day long, if that's all you want to watch. Because you're looking for the guy or the gal that is the most like you, that the probabilities are higher that you're going to make it. It's like when Elon Musk said on one of the tapes earlier, and Andrew Carnegie said a gazillion times, if you need motivation, you're doing the wrong thing. So what do we take away, if anything, from young Josh, other than he looks young?
You gotta find a big enough industry that moves enough targets, and you also have to find a big industry where you can finance the deal.
Well, okay. Almost any industry you look at, 9 out of 10 are big enough. Number two, the reason he says that is because the first two he did, he went after whales. I mean, he went after hundreds of million dollar deals. And you can do those, but with great difficulty vis-a-vis finance. Number two, you find out whether you can finance them because you talk to the banks first to find out what the general parameters are. Many of you will, not just you, but historically, kids waste too much time on people. You have trouble separating a suspect from a prospect. A suspect is some fucking moron that'll talk to you, and in the beginning you're hungry for that. Somebody that'll just fucking return your emails and talk to you. But that doesn't make them a prospect to sell their business to you. And like you said, I'm not going to fly out to see some jerk, and find out then that the guy wants, too much money for the business. But those aren't the challenge, finding businesses and numbers and monies, unless you're in certain areas where the EBITDA requirements vis-a-vis financing are high, like 8, 10, 12. In the lower end, the bricks and mortar type, not bricks, but I mean the non-tech end, some of the guys are buying business at 1 times earnings. 1. And those are easily financeable. And 9 times out of 10, you can get owner finance, where they're taking back the paper like a no money down house flipper.
So when you talk about the bedpan industry, is that like one of those?
Absolutely. Oh, it's not 1 time, but that's 3, 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 3, 4 times, 5 times.
He also said that he offers high from the beginning. So
no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't offer. No, he doesn't offer anything in the beginning. He finds out what the banks are willing to finance. Well, now he knows stone cold what they're willing to finance because he's done a bunch of them. But in the beginning, what is the bank? Remember I said you warm up the bank, and the bank tells you we can go 3 to 6 times EBITDA. So now you know, roughly speaking, 3 to 6 times free cash flow. So then you talk to the doofus seller, and if they want 10 times cash flow next, because the spread is too far. That's a bridge too far, like a famous movie from World War. It's a bridge too far. You're never going to get them down from 10 times to 6 times. Now, if they want 6.5 times or 6 times, and even though you only want to pay 5 times, then you've got some wiggle room to be able to narrow that bridge. But if you don't ask them, you don't know, and so you waste an inordinate amount of time finding out that they're not sellers. It's like I tell the kids, and it's graphic and it's ugly and it's non-PC, but she's either going to fuck you or she's not. And I know you take them flowers and candy and hold their hand and walk on the beach, and I guess kids still do that kind of shit, right? Not this kid. Okay? And and when are you going to find out the 4th date that there's going to be no sex? I just assume know that the first phone call. I don't need to fill up my day mental masturbation, jerking around, pun intended. But you're afraid for Not you. I say you like, no. You kids are afraid to get the fucking answer. Don't you understand? Because no, they're going to say no. Oh, she doesn't want to sleep with me. Oh, fuck. He doesn't want to sell. So the longer I can push out knowing, the better. And now you're filling up the days, hours, weeks, months. It's like a guy said, if just tell me it was going to be 2,000 cold calls, Mr. Peña, I would send you $25,000 check. Saved us both a lot of time. It's like we had two really powered sales guys here last year. And they laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. And they said, I've never heard so many different ways you actually have to call these people. And you can phrase that a lot of different ways, can't you? And the two sales guys, that's what they do to make a living. I never heard. I didn't think there were that many ways that you got to pick up the fucking phone. Or then pick up the phone. Remember, email, or call, email, call. But at the end of the day, these people aren't going to say the goddamn business without you fucking talking to them. We've come close in a couple of cases where they almost got it done without talking to them. And then some people are better off never meeting these people. Because, and I mean that are out there and that have been through. Because you look at them, you instill no confidence whatsoever. You come with my book, the Bible, you come with everything, you memorize every motherfucking tape, every day. And then as soon as they see you, say, forget about it. And that's what you think, though, see. I'm exaggerating to make a point. You know as soon as they look at you, game over. Down deep inside, you know that. You think you know it. I know different. I've got guys and gals that look like kids. What else? Yes, sir.
You didn't believe that he had any limits to his ability.
Gee, what a surprise. You remember his house? That should be no shock to anybody. And now it's fucking, he's got to do something, and I'm not, I don't want to jinx the thing, but he's got to really do something fucked up not to be a superstar. I mean, major league fuck up, Walter. I mean, a major league fuck up. I mean, as they say in the Army, he's got to fuck the pooch. I mean, he's got to get caught fucking the dog, at taps. Taps is when they play the music and they bring the flag down. He's got to get caught fucking the dog at taps to not make it now. What else? Pardon, could you repeat it, please?
After short, concise files on
Yeah. Well, you're going to get his models. Yes, sir.
To see how his brain is like a sponge because of the young age that he just like soaked up the model and without any question, without any doubt, it's like the McDonald's model. If you were a restaurant owner before and we don't want you because we're going to teach you the way, if you think you have
correct,
forget. So if you're not young, just have to press delete. That's that's my
delete.
take.
You got to scrub your database out. And virtually not all, but almost everything else you learned about this stuff is wrong. And in his particular case, and he's hungry as shit. I mean, he wants to, yeah.
You mentioned his one of his mentors now is his chairman.
Yeah, well, it should be. Yeah, chairman's a sharp guy.
How close should you be with him? Because you said before, don't ever let the chairman look down on you.
No. What I said is some chairman will take advantage, say they're going to be your father. Now, he's not that guy's father. I mean, he's mentoring him in business. I mean, see, you guys are mixing metaphors. You're looking for loopholes in the model that don't exist. You're looking because when you fail, you want to be able to hang it on something. I knew there was some reason I wasn't going to be able to do it because I'm a retard, 40 IQ moron. Your chairman should be your mentor, not your fucking father figure. Because most of your fathers were cocksuckers. Worthless pieces of shit, otherwise you wouldn't fucking be here. What else? Yes, sir.
How many acquisitions have you made so far?
I want to say 11, but I'm not positive. But the day he made his first, Sally and I were in Washington, D.C. at the, what did I say? Hay Adams? Yeah, Hay Adams, I think. See the White House. And he comes in. He was walking literally that fucking high off the ground. Like he had some kind of space shoes on. And he needed 2 sources of ID, and he didn't have 2 sources of ID. He had to get his passport and a learner's permit. And I can't remember if the learner's permit counted as a source of ID, because it's not a real document. A learner's permit to drive. He didn't have a driver's license. But of course, that seems like a long time ago. Well, it wasn't. It was about a year and a half ago, more or less. Yeah.
What percentage does he still hold? How much?
77. As of 4 weeks ago, last time I saw 77. And that very seldom. Once you've made a bunch of deals, that doesn't change very often. It does. Unless you give somebody equity, like we were discussing, from down below up above. That doesn't change. I won't say it doesn't change. It rarely changes. But I mean, you may be able to get some, like if you were rolling up hospitals and DeBakey was still alive. DeBakey used to be my doctor 30, 40 years ago from Houston, famous heart doctor. And you can get DeBakey to come in. Well, fuck, you dilute the holding company. Or you get, who's the other heart guy? DeBakey and the guy from South Africa. Name escapes me. Yeah, but that percentage rarely changes. And he talks about it so simply because it is simple. Now, the other webinars he's done, where he walked through the basics and all that, he sounded no different. He, as you could tell in that one, he was a little irritated. He can't understand the retardation. It's hard for him now, especially because he's done so many and it's so fucking easy. He can't. And so we're not using them anymore. Most of the people don't want to. Can you understand why they don't want to talk to you? You know that shit about play forward? What's that fucking shit about give it forward or fuck it forward? What is it? That's a load of shit. If you believe that, you are retards. Most of these guys don't want to talk to you. They would piss on your face if it was on fucking fire. Because every minute they're urinating on your face to put out the fire, they're not doing a deal. And if you think any different, you're smoking, Doc. Give me some of that shit. As long as it's not addictive, give me some of that shit. That's a dream. That's Alice in Wonderland. That's Disney World shit. That's not this shit. My Disney World shit stopped when I was 11 years old, and my father finally told me there was no Santa Claus. That was it. 11. You don't know anybody 11 that believed in Santa Claus. I was I really was crestfallen. I swear to Christ, that's no bullshit. I was. My heart, all the fights I got in with everybody defending that there was a Santa Claus in the neighborhood that I came from. Fuck. All the people I punched in the face and kicked. And then when they found out that I knew, And I went and thumped him again. I knew there was a good reason. I broke your nose, asshole. I'm going to break it again. What else about him? He's a great kid. He really is. He's a great kid, but he's getting long in the tooth now. He's 20. So, life's passing by now. For those of you that are 40, we know, and 70, you know how funny that is, right? Life certainly hasn't passed him by. Anything else on Josh?
I like how he said he doesn't waste no time. So pretty much, if he doesn't,
He doesn't. He doesn't do a lot of foreplay with the acquisition candidates. And that'll be a big challenge for you in the beginning because, one, you're certainly more politically correct than he is, and two, you want, in general, I'm not telling you to be not polite, but in general, you either be polite, or I tell the young kids, be respectful, not polite. Respect your elders. I believe in that very much. Okay, be respectful. But don't waste time listening to bullshit with tacit approval. Just listen to all this horse shit they're saying. If they were so fucking smart, they wouldn't be talking to you. Again, I'm going to say it again. If they were so damn smart, they wouldn't be talking to you. But he's not the only one. We have several others that are equally and even more successful, but not at that young age. Not at the young age. And when I put it out, I got all kinds of negative commentary that Josh isn't a real person, he's an actor. Like I told you about, they don't think you're real. They think that you're actors. If this is the best I can do hiring a fucking audience, I should commit suicide. If this is the best I could do from Central Casting, they think he's not a real person because they need to find an excuse why they have been failures all their life. But, I thought that I'd get nothing but positive accolades, for developing a superstar young kid, but never underestimate how wrong you can be. I mean, I took a lot of shit from that. Sure, it doesn't bother me. But I was really surprised. But then it just reinforced why there's so many people that haven't done it. There's so many losers. The glass is half empty instead of half full, and I can go on and on and on and on. Anything else on him?
Are they all those acquisitions in the same state?
No. I believe Florida, Las Vegas, Illinois, and one other. I can't remember the other.
That's nice, right?
What? Yeah. Well, yeah, it's actually a hybrid of deadpan, a hybrid. But, yeah, simple, nothing sophisticated. And that's what he wants to do. He wants to do sophisticated roll-ups. Fine, you can exit this and whenever and take that equity and go into a much higher level of deal. Okay, YouTube, thank you.